Chalo. So, first of all, if you go through recordings, you will get to learn, you will get to know about like how Python works and how the things go in Python internally. And then we started understanding the data types because each and every language or each and any programming that we have to do, we will be doing with some kind of data type, some kind of data, right? Numbers, be it sentences. Uh, so so there are three, four types of data types. One is int, one is float, one is string, and yeah, like that. And if you say, if we also say true or false as Boolean, also. So those are also data types. So we do some operations like we do division, subtraction, addition, like that. So those are the kind of things that we do. All right.
Okay.
Now, yes. So so we did a few operations on those. So we did a few operations on those data types. Like this is integer division. This is a float division. So what happens is in integer division, whatever the main question that you get will be the answer. But in float division, you will get the decimals also. This we used to call decimal in our maths, but here we call this float. Okay, this is the modulus operator. This operator gives you the remainder after dividing the number. All right. Then, then if you see one difference here, yeah, this is an in division. If you do an in division of two numbers which are different, one is int, one is float, you will always get a float. All right.
Okay.
I have explained this. I have explained this little bit in depth properly in the class. You will get to know. I'm just giving a gist of it. Just giving an overview. And any ways, if you guys feel I'm going fast or you don't understand, you can stop me and I'll again go through it. We can make the class as much interactive as you can. So no worries in that.
Sure.
Next is this was the power, the exponent. So if you give two stars, then it becomes power. So 5 square is 25, and 5 power minus 1 is 1 by 5. So 1 by 5 is zero point 0.2. Then anything power 0 0.5 is square root of that number, and square root of any number is a float. Whatever that number is, square root of any number is a float. Then there is a little bit small property in modulus in negative and in positive that you will learn if you go that you will get to know once you go through the video, go through that recording. Next is we will see the types. So not types. Next is we have seen that there is a variable. We'll cover variable today. We'll just see that a has been assigned a value of hello. Okay. Now what it does is it will just check if this is empty or not. If this a is empty or not, it will just check. Only the value zero, integer value zero, will give us false, and empty string will give us false. Other than that, nothing will give us false. It will always give us true. So that's what's happening here. So a has been assigned hello. Hello is something, right? There is no emptiness right here. So if we say the boolean value of this a is true. But if we see the boolean value of this zero, it's false. If we see the boolean value of minus 10, it's true. Minus 5.47, it's true. Now if you see this is a string, right? This string has no space, nothing. So it is false because it's an empty string. But here in this one, if in this one if you observe, there is a space, right? So space is not empty actually. Okay. So let's try to understand, because space has an ASCII value assigned to it. Because of that ASCII value it has been assigned. That's why if we see there is some, if we see a space, it seems like a big space also. We might get confused, okay, something is there. But nothing is there. But yeah, something is there. So that something will always correspond to a true. Okay.
So I think, yeah, then one more way to, correct me if I'm wrong. The other way to understand this is, there will be a memory store address for this. I mean, both for, I mean, if you need to see those values, those will be different, right? The memory store address where those values are being stored.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Is it?
That's also true.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, thanks for the input. Okay. Next is this false. This false is under string, but this false is not the Boolean false. Okay. So this is a string. This is not an empty string. So it is giving true. Now, for any value, we can see the bool. So for any Boolean, we can see its integer value also. So for true, its integer value is 1. For false, its integer value is 0. But if we give a string, if we give a string and inside it we write, this int won't be able to convert it because it does not understand. And what if we see the error as the value error? And we will also try to understand the names of the error. What kind of error the compiler throws, the IDE throws. We'll also try to understand along the our journey also, because that will help us in understanding the error and to for us to debug it, right? So
Mm.
this is a value error. Why it's value error? Because this integer, this int function, it does not understand what value it's getting. It just understands which is a proper integer, that is a number with base 10. So it's not a base 10 number, right? So it's a string. So it does not understand. It's giving a value error. But if you give it is an int of 3.0, that is it's a float, right? It will just change it to 3. It's called typecasting. We'll again try to understand. These are Boolean operators. Boolean operators are just basic thing that we understood in our basic maths, like if something is greater than true or false, right? If if one is greater than two or not, one is not greater, false. That's it. So same thing. This we just got it here, right? False or int value of false is 0. So that's it. Now print, if we just print the 50 greater than 0, same thing. If 50 greater than 0 is printing here, giving us output as false, it will also give us output as false, right? So it's printing the same thing. This is the not equal sign. So 50 is not equal to 60. Yes, correct. Then this is the equal. That means it's checking the equality. This is not assignment. There is a difference in assigning. This is the assignment that I'm assigning here, but this is checking. This is the conditional statement that I am checking, right? Then we did a small question here. Then we did the logical operator, that and or not. So that is okay. That when and or will just work. I'll just give a small example. Like this is this one, right? A is equals to 10. Now, is A greater than 5? True, correct. Is A greater than 9? Forget about this. Forget about this. If A is greater than 5 and A is also greater than 9, which is true in this case, right? It will give us a true. It will give us a true, right? But that much, it will give us a true, correct? But what AND is doing is this, both the conditions have to be true, only then it will give us an output as true. But if any one of this has been false, A is, let's suppose A is less than 9. This is not true, right? This is false. So this is giving false. But the same thing if we had done with OR, same thing if we had done with OR is just checking if any one of them is true or not. Okay, if one is true, this is true, right? So I will give you output as true. So that's how it works. And unary operator, not is the only unary operator which is working here. If it will just change the entire thing. If you're getting true, it will make this false. It will give us. If it's false, it will give us true. Now let's try to understand a little bit of strings. How we do a little bit of how we do the string, because we can add numbers, right? We can add numbers. Now let's. This is the start from today's session, right? A has been assigned hello. Okay. Then A has
Okay.
been again assigned A plus space hello. Okay. A space world. Okay. Now, what happens is this hello has been assigned the value, this A has been assigned the value of hello. This is the previous hello has been replaced by the previous hello plus this one. So if we just print it, what do you think? it will happen. If we do just 1 plus 2, we will get 3, right? But here, what you will do, this is called string concatenation. The strings, if both the strings are there, and if we just use a plus sign in between them, they will just be added. But if we don't use this space, then this both will be merged. Okay.
Okay.
So this we have to take care of whenever we do a string concatenation. Now, we might think, okay, print if there is space or not, this space matters or not. The space don't matter. However, how much distance you give in between space, it will just give you the output. In between this space, in this space, it works or not. This also works. This also does not matter how you write. So no problem. Now, the print statement is asking that hello is trying to output as hello. Is it allowed? It's not allowed. Print will either take integers or strings or those kind of variables, how we want, right? How it's been predefined that these are the values that you can take. But hello is not able to understand what error it is giving. It's giving name error. That this thing I have not been defined, right? Now what is this? I have not been even defined. What do I do with this thing? So this is not so print will not understand this kind of literals, okay? But if we just give them in double quote or single quote, it will be printing. It will be printing. So this is thing. But print is also this language is also case sensitive. It's very case sensitive. So the same print that we wrote in lowercase, if we do in uppercase, it won't be given. It's again giving name error. That print is not defined. That it does not understand what this print does. Okay. So that's one thing. Next, guys. So what do you think this will print? Do you think this will print? Yeah, Ankit.
Is there a way to know how many types of error are there? We see name error, and then there's
Yeah, name error, value error, syntax error. These are the common errors. So when we deal with more questions, we will get to know. But we can always Google it, right? That how many types of error are there? Right. Syntax error, exception, runtime error. Then how many? Name error. Basically, it's just showing errors only. So we will go with mostly deal with them when we go into it.
okay, yeah, there's a zero division error. So you can
Yeah.
see above,
So
yeah.
yeah. So these will not be showing that this is the error. Mostly it will be showing as the specific names. The syntax error, value error. So exceptions is not something which it shows as. Yeah. We'll mostly see. If you see in this entire error, you don't see something as exception, right? We will mostly see as name error, and then we will have it will just imply where is the error that we are doing, and it will try to imply. Then we need to debug on top of it. So what this is doing, this is adding a string with an integer, right? So it's saying, what did you do? It's a type error because this is a different type. This is a different type. You cannot do addition between two different types of data types, right? So that's where this is a type error. So it won't show. See, exception, you won't be seeing some kind of exception error, right? So we'll just get the major issue, the major errors that we have dealt, we will be getting as name as this type error, syntax error, name error, value error. So those kind of errors we'll see. We'll get to know once we try to deal with it. Once you also on your own, you try to do a few of the questions, you go through a few of the errors. Slowly it will build upon. You will get to understand, okay, this is what this does, this is what that does. Now, got it? Got
Yeah,
clear? Okay,
yeah,
done.
yeah.
Yeah. Now, if we do print of this 9 minus 3, what do you think the output for this one is?
You should give an error, maybe.
You just print it 9 minus 3 as a string.
Yeah, because why this is done, Ankit, is this is a string right now. This is a string. So print statement is looking what value I am getting. Okay. So it's saying, okay, something is inside string, something inside double quotes. Okay, this is not a integer value or float value. This is a string. Now something is there or not. Okay, something is there. So I will just print it. I'll just print it directly 9 minus 3. Okay, got it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the case
So
only for the string. I think if you want to print integer or any other numeric, it should work without codes. Correct?
yeah. See, if I'm printing 3, it's printing 3. That's not an issue. If I am printing 3 plus 9, it will print us 12. That's not an issue. It will do the operation inside and it will just give us the output. That's it.
But when it is in double quote,
It's in the
Yeah,
oh,
string.
that
yeah.
will print
Because
other things.
because yeah. Because once it's in double quotes, now it does not understand what is there. It will just take everything as a string and it will just print it directly. It will just print it.
Okay.
So see, I have given two spaces, right? There are two spaces which has gotten printed here. So it will just print whatever is there inside this thing. So same thing, just print it. Nothing like that. Got it? So
Yeah.
the double quotes makes it string. Got it? Next is that's what are data types that we have gone through. One important thing is in other languages, in Java or in C and C++, they have given the integer values as some range they have given. Okay, but in Python they have given no range. If you have if you have tried to give this kind of number in an int, because in other languages we have to first declare it, right? We have to first declare it, but here no declaration. Just give the value, whatever value you want to give, you just give. But here, that's why internally it knows that I have been given no range, so I will just take whatever value you want to give. So this much value would not have been possible to give in other language, in int data type, but here it's possible. Here any number without any digit is a int, so there is no double concept, nothing. Directly int only, and int has no range, so it will just you just keep on giving. So same thing. We just discussed decimal is called float. So these are the same numbers. Next is this thing that we just discussed is 9 and 9.0 same. Yes, it is in maths, but in Python, no. In Python, 9 is integer, 9.0 is okay.
Float.
Now, yes, Ankit, you were saying something?
No, no.
Okay. Okay. The same thing that we do in the string. Anything that is inside quotes is a string. So hello, this is a sentence, double quotes 9.0, everything is string. So there is nothing, it does not understand if anything is inside double quotes, it's a string. That's why. If we check, so what was this thing? This was a checking. So it was this operator was checking, well, equality operator was checking that these two are equal or not. This is a string, this is a float. Are they true? No, it's not. It will give us false, right? This is an int. This is a float. Are they true? Are they? Oh, sorry. This right now here it is checking only value wise. Here it is not checking what data type it is. Here it's only checking the value. Here it was not checking the value. Here it was completely checking the data type because the entire data type is different. But here it is checking the value. Okay. So these kind of a few exceptions are there in Python. So that we have to be a little bit just we'll just get to know anyway. We won't be using that much these things. Just it's good if we know. So Boolean, as we have understood, it can have only two values, which are true and false. And this is now we'll see. This is 0.2. This is zero point 0.2. Now 0.2 and zero point 0.2 are equal or not? These are equal, right? Because both are float, just zero is not that the value is same, right? So that's why this is true. Okay. Now, how do we check what the data type of a value is? What any kind of value that we give, what is its data type? We'll just try to get it. How do we get it? By using the type function. So for any data type, if we just write the type, it will give us its type. This was int, right? This is also int. This is also int. This is a float. This is a float. This is a string, right? So in Python, str denotes as string. So it does not write entire word string. It just gives a string. Now, what do you think, guys? This will output as? What do you think this will be getting output as?
String.
Really?
I think it will throw an error.
Yeah, it's little throw an error. Why, Ankit? Because it does not have double quotes, right? If it has a double quote, only then it will understand it's a string.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, it will give us an error. What error? Name error. Why name error? Because it has not been defined. This hello has not been defined. It does not even understand what's there, right? So that's it. But here, see, hello, this is so it's the same thing. It's saying, hello, this is true. I am true. That one is not true. So this is saying, okay, I'm true. Here, type of this true. What do you think type of this true is? Type of this
String.
true string. Yes, this will give us string. But what do you think the type of this true is? This is a direct true.
Bool.
What is the type of this true is? This is a boolean. So it will give us bull. It won't write the entire boolean. It will give us same. Similarly, this will give us bull. What do you think this will give?
Error. Name error.
Error. Because yeah, name error. Because this does not understand what this t is. It because it's a case sensitive, very case sensitive. It won't understand what this t is what this t is doing. So it will just throw an error. Okay, what this true means, I don't understand. It just understand capital T. So it will understand. But here, what do you think will happen? It will just do the addition. Whatever the output is, it will just give us the type of that thing. So it's an int. It will do the addition. What do you think, guys? What will be the answer for this? Int or float?
Float.
Float. Correct. Because int plus float is float. Now, in Python, same thing. Like others, this plus adds the two numbers, and in string, it adds both the strings. It adds both the string. It just mix them, which is called concatenation. Concatenation. It's called concatenation of two strings. It's called addition. So you see, here there is one space. Here also there is one space. So you see there are two spaces, right? So if we just want to look good, so we'll just take care of these things. Now it's looking neat, right? So same thing. Now let's try to understand. What do you guys think we'll be getting the type of this thing? So hello plus
String.
50
Hello 50.
string.
String.
Hello 50. What is hello 50? The entire hello 50 is a string, right? So
Right.
we'll get the type as yeah, we'll get the type and that type as string. Now this is a string. This is an int. What do you think will happen?
Error.
Error. It cannot do. Why type error? Because this type is a different data type. This is a different data type, and it cannot do any kind of concatenation. Can only concatenate string, not int to string. See, it's showing so properly what kind of error that we are doing right now. Can only concatenate string, not int to a string. So string can be concatenated to string, not into a string, not so like that. Okay. So it's saying properly plus cannot work with string and int. That's it. Very clear. No need to explain, understand anything. It's vividly there. Next is type of 3 equal to 3.0. Now let's try to understand first what this will do. So what do you guys think? 3 is equal to 3.0 or not? We have just done this a
True.
few minutes ago.
True.
True. What is the type of true? It's Boolean. Correct. It's Boolean. Okay. So we have covered some basic things that we will need to use in real life. in some scenarios, in more deep Python scripting, when we will be needing, we will use these things. But yeah, just for knowledge and just for practice, we need to learn this. Now the main thing is variables, because we will be using variables extensively everywhere. Almost it's everywhere. So variables are nothing. These are just some containers, you can say, to store the values. Okay, any kind of value that you want to store for future reference or future usage. So for this, we will be using variables, and variables is just a name or identifier given to a value. So the value will be just known by that name. And in Python, a variable actually denotes a location in memory. So whatever the location of that value is, so the variable will denote that location. So in future, when we will be getting to know about the location and all those things, memory address of the thing, then also we'll get to understand that this variable is referencing to the memory location of the value. So now let's see. This A, has it been defined anywhere? This A, has it been defined anywhere till now?
No.
No, right? So here it's checking that A is equal to 3. That am I equal to 3? No, right? How can I say? So what it will do? False. I'm not equal. I don't even know what this value is. But this is saying that A has been assigned the value of 3. So now, whenever after assigning this value, whenever we call this A will always correspond to this 3. Right? Once I run this, now this 3 has been stored into this A. Now if we print A, it will give 3. Okay. Similarly, if I right now print hello, is anything there in this hello? Nothing, right? So it will give us a name error. Correct? Because it's not been defined. But if we store this value, some operations we have done, and we have stored the value of this in this hello. Once we run this value has been stored here. And now if we print it, now we'll get this value, right? Clear? So similarly, this C has been assigned this value, this D has been assigned this value, this E has been assigned this value. Now if we just print C plus D plus C, we'll get the entire value of the addition of these three numbers. Now if we print C, we'll get the value of C, we'll get the value of D, we'll also get the value of E. If we print them separately, I've just written them separate lines. You can also write everything together. That's not an issue. So in one cell you can write everything, and you can print everything also. So it will just give everything in one line. So I'm just writing it so that we know that it's possible. So it's not that we have to write everything in a single line. So however we feel it's convenient, we'll just write. Now, C, what is the value of C we're getting? It's 11, right? Now let's try to see the type of C. It should give int, right? It's in int. What is the type of E? E, we have gotten this. Without looking at here, directly from looking at here itself, we can know that then this is a float division. So whatever the value this will get, it will always be in float, right? So the type of E will also be a float. Okay. So when I say 10, so how it works is 10 is saved inside memory. Some memory block will be used to save this value, and we can access the memory block using the variable. Okay. So once this is the internality, this is the internal working how the variables work actually. That's why I've written. And after this class, I have also prepared one assignment kind of GitHub repository which I'll be sharing, and this Google Colab also I'll be sharing in this in our group, so that you can go through this and you can also practice. Please practice these things. This will be very useful. This is very helpful for you, because looking wise we feel that okay, it's so easy, we'll understand, but still, believe me, you need to practice everything once, at least once. Now, variable is not something which is static, right? Which is not, which is like permanent. So it can change. Once we write, once we do something, one and if we just give another value next time, it will be overwritten. So that's what I've written here. A is equals to 4. Now, in the next step itself, we are overwriting it. Now, what do you think this print will print for this A value? This A has forgotten this 4 and it has taken this value of 10. So it will print the value of 10.
Okay, I have a question.
Now, sure,
So
sure.
so let's say you assign a value of 4. So there will be a
Uh,
address for memory in for those 4 value, right? For A.
uh,
So let's say now I override it. Will there be a new memory address or will it be same?
hmm, you
Can
can.
okay. I think
It's a good question. Actually, yeah, I have to also look for that. I cannot just say give you the answer just randomly. I have to be confirming that once the memory block is used and we have, I feel it will take a new memory block.
okay.
It will not that 10 will be in a new memory block. Yes.
Can I think
Or
can we quickly do it here only? I mean, maybe we can try doing that. How about we print the memory address for A is equal to 4 and then A is equal to 10.
yes, yes. So I what was the mm, there was a something address of a something like this was there or not, I don't
There
know.
is something called
A
function, ID function.
I, I ID, yes, I also I just it's okay.
Okay.
Mm, yes,
Okay.
see it changed.
Yeah. Okay. Makes sense.
Yes.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I also felt, that it should not override that same memory address, right? Because
Mm,
it has so much, it will just take a new it will take a new thing.
yeah.
That's a good question, Ankit. Thanks for that.
No
That's what
worries.
I was also expecting. That's also I was also expecting that if you are coming up with questions, we will also learn, because I also don't know everything. So we'll learn together. So yeah.
Yeah.
Now same thing. If we do here at this point, x is equals to 3, then x is equals to 5. This time, I believe you guys have anyway gotten the idea that it will print 5, right?
Yeah.
So yeah. Next is x equals to I'm God, y equals to I'm human. If I'm printing both the lines in a different line, it will print both the lines in a different lines. Okay, because each print statement will print the both the variables values in different lines. Print statements will be we have to be very careful in these things. Not careful, we have to remember in a way, because we'll be using these things in later in in forming the loops, in forming the codes. We will be using new print statements and what impact it has. So that's why uh, so but here if what I am doing, we're concatenating it, right? So if I'm concatenating it, because these both are strings, and if I'm doing x plus y, both are getting attached, right? Now same thing, if you have observed this, I am Godi, am human, so there is no space, right? So we will just give one space here, and then you will say, okay, now this is done. All right.
Yeah.
Next is, next is, we can also do one thing. This is a print statement of x in one line. This is a print statement of y in one line. Now let's try to see what it does. This is also doing the same thing that this did. But how it works is, this is an internal parameter that has been defined for the print statement while defining the print statement in forming the Python language itself. We'll learn this, we'll study these functions when we'll study the function concepts. So that's a different thing. But for now, we just try to just remember when we write comma end equal to like this, it will just bring the last line just before it, and it will just concatenate them. Okay, clear?
Yeah.
So what if you use a new line character there? It will be printed in a two separate lines, right? Instead of concatenation. Between the quotes,
Which
uh,
uh,
no, no, the 79, line number 79, the end
yeah,
statement,
yeah,
right, within the print statement.
yeah,
So there is nothing,
yeah,
so
yeah.
it is doing a concatenation. So if we have a new line character,
This here you're
yes,
saying,
yes.
okay, like
So
this you're
now,
saying.
so if we execute it, I think it will print in two separate lines.
Hmm. Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes. So whatever thing you give inside this send, it will just give. Why I did not take this? Because anyway, we'll be learning a little bit more deeply about this thing later. But yeah, it's good. If you have understood, then it's very good. So what it does is, if you are not giving anything, it will just taking itself like this. But if we are giving new line, it will just take it as a new line. Okay. Now this is what I was saying. This is what I was indicating in the previous time also when we started. In other languages, we needed to declare what kind of data type your variable is. But in Python, we don't do those kind of things. Here, it does not matter. See, you see, it's giving syntax error. That why are you giving me this thing? What does it imply? You don't need to mention data type. It's saying in Python you don't need to mention the data type of a variable. Invalid syntax. So it's not even taking it. Clear, guys? But in other languages, it's very important. So here, what will happen? X equal to 10, X equal to true. What will the print text print? Tell me.
True. I think true.
Yes, it's true because this is getting overwritten by this one, right? Whatever the next value it gets, this one is gone. It forgets this one's memory address, and it just comes to this one. Whatever this one is indicating, it will go there. Now, one thing we are saying 123 equal to 890. This is not 123 double equal to 890. We are not checking. We are not checking them that they are equal or not. We are trying to assign 890 value into 123. Okay. So is can a variable name be 123? No. You see, syntax error. Cannot assign to literal here. Maybe you meant double equal. It's saying maybe you were trying to check both of them are equal, but we were not able to assign this entire value into this kind of literal values. Now we'll okay. Then we'll think okay, this was not done. Let's try to make it a string. Okay. So this is also not done. So this also we cannot do. So what we will try to there are a few rules for assigning a variable. Okay. So variable names can have uppercase letters, lowercase letters, digits, and underscores. And the variable cannot start with a digit. Okay. These are the few rules to define a variable. Okay. So if I'm giving AXXXOMP, it's allowed. It will take. If I write hello 123, it's allowed. It will take. If I write 1AZDG, is it allowed? Is this the rule saying that I'll be allowed or not? What does the rule say? What do you think?
It start with underscore or a character.
Yeah. So it won't be taking this one. That invalid decimal. That I cannot take this one. This is not even allowed. So syntax means always try to remember there is some rule issues that something was defined and you are just validating that. So you're just disobeying the rule. So this is allowed. This is allowed because this has underscore. This one. is not allowed because it does not understand this thing. Because there is a rule that I understand only these things which are covering this, not this kind of things. Now, a very important concept is input and output. So, output we have seen, print statement is giving us the output of whatever operation, whatever thing that we are doing. It is giving us the output, right? That is the main job of output. Now, what is input? So, what is happening is till now we have been assigning the values of the variables ourselves, right? Which is just the basic step of understanding the how variables work. But do you guys feel in real time, in UI, in any kind of website that you go, do you think some values are always there? They take our inputs, right? That give us, tell us your name, tell us your age. So those kinds of things are what? Those type of things are inputs, and we need to deal a lot in inputs. So that's why we have to understand what's the syntax of input, and the syntax of input in Python, I think is most of the most easy, the easiest things. Like nothing is there. So what will happen is, if I'm giving a, okay, a is equals to input of, it's just asking. You see, you see here, when I am asking for input, the cell is running. It's not stopping. That means it's not going forward until unless I give any input, it won't stop. So I will give the input as the, now it's done. So hello has been saved into this A now. Okay. Then B is running. B is working. Okay, world. Now this world has been saved. Now I'm printing A plus B. Now tell me guys, till this much that we have learned, what does a gut says? Will this print A plus B be happening? Tell me.
Yes, uh, it's a string, right? So it will concatenate and print hello world.
Yeah, yeah. So what happens is it will just concatenate because the input is always string. So we'll try to understand how it works. If I had given here 4, if I had given BS 5, now what do you think? It became 45. It's not just like it just attached because it took this one as a string, this one as a string. So actually, this is double quotes 4. Actually, this was double quotes 4 and this was double quotes 5. That's why when we did plus, it did not make it did not make integer operation. It made string concatenation. That's why it became 4, 5. It is just adding them, just sticking them end to end. So that's why if we just see type of A is string, type of B is also string. So when we add plus, when you do plus between two strings, it does not add them, whatever the value might be. It will just stick them end to end. Correct? This much is clear. We have to be very careful about this. Okay? Clear, guys?
Yeah.
This much?
Yes.
So that's what input function gives you a string data type. Always, always. If we need int, we have to typecast it. We have to change it. So we'll also do those kind of things also. So same thing. If I'm doing C as input, anything, and if I do print C, it will print it. But always try to remember this is a string. This is not an int. Right till now, it's not an int. Okay. So next is we will try to do a greeting using the input statement and the print statements. Okay. Now, uh, print, please enter your name. This is just asking, enter your name. And in our UIs also, in any kind of website that we visit, there also we will be getting some prompt, right? Enter your name, what's your name? So it's just saying, enter your name. Then it will just be blinking. It will just be waiting. Okay, give us the input. What is it? Now let's suppose I have given someone's name. Let's suppose I have given Ankit's name. Then what it will do, it will just hello and welcome plus A. Now, if A had been an integer, it would have given us a type error, right? Because it would not have been able to add those things, different data types. But because it's a string, it will just add it, right? So if I add Ankit, hello and welcome Ankit. I hope Ankit you are fine by I am using your name, no problem, right?
That's fine.
All right. So this much is clear, right?
Yeah.
Now, so we can also do one
So
thing.
just to
So
confirm again, input is used to take input from the user, and it is always in string until or unless we define some int or some other thing.
yeah,
Okay.
yes, correct, absolutely. Yeah. Now we will just take a string and print it three times. How do we do it? So A is saying input. So what we did here, we can we can give that gesture of the gesture that please enter a string, please enter a number, please enter your name inside the input itself. So if we just do it, enter a string, anything, hi. See, if I'm giving hi, so this hi has been saved into this A. Don't think please enter a string has been stored into this A. This is just a prompt. This is just an inside thing which it won't take. It will just take the thing, just take the value or the variable or the value that we will assign, with that we will give. That's why only hi has been printed. Okay, clear this much? Now, typecasting. So typecasting is important here because in many cases we will be needing, and especially for this input case itself we will be needing, because in input we will always be getting strings, right? Now some sentences if we get in strings it's fine, we don't need to change this. But if we need to do operations on integer values, then what do we do? Because A and B will always, whatever value we want to do, it will always give us a string. How can we do addition or subtraction or division between strings, right? So that's why we need typecasting. It just changes the type of the variable. So here A is 45, right? So if I see the type string, now I'm storing the integer value of A into the variable X. And now if I say the type of X, it's int. Got it this much? This much is clear that initially it was string, but but guys, if you think, okay, I'll try to change the typecast the value of hello. Now, will it be possible? No, right? Hello cannot be made into this integer, right? So that much we also have to be like clear about it, that what do we want to typecast, right? So that's what is happening. So here now you see this x has become int of a. Int of a means it has taken the value of 4. So now the x has a value 4. And 4, if we multiply it 4, we'll get 16, right? Now, now this, what do you think? This will give us an output. Print a minus 4. Will it do something? Will it do anything?
Yes,
Is it
because
what it?
it is a string and it is it will do multiplication. Sorry.
Abstraction, I guess.
Yes.
So you're sure there some operations will be happening, possible, right? Tell me, guys. A is still string. We
It
did
will
not
throw error.
typecast A.
We did a
Yeah, it
typecast,
will throw
right?
Oh,
error.
yeah.
We did not typecast A. We just put the integer value of A into the value X.
Correct.
X
Okay,
is
makes
int.
sense.
A
Yeah,
is still string. Yes,
Mm.
A is still string. So
right.
if you try to do string minus integer, it will give the same error. That अरे
Yeah.
भाई नहीं होगा. String minus int is not possible. So that's it. Now A is 7, 890, and I try to int it. So it will be ending, but same thing that we just try to do right. That hello cannot be done into it. It cannot do. It will just give a variable that I cannot change this thing for you. Now, uh, let's try to save. Let's try to check. Let's try to understand this. Take a number as input from user and print the square of the number. Okay. In basic, in very basic, forget about these things. That just try to give me what comes to your mind looking at this thing. Just looking at this thing, what comes to your mind that how do we move ahead with this thing?
Can
Take a
you
number as input from a user and print the square of the number. Okay, tell me.
can you scroll up?
No, no, no. I'm trying to like just trying to make you force little bit, make like use some force on your head to
I mean, to
think
build
like
a
how to
logic.
do. Yeah, yeah, to build the logic actually. That how do we think?
Still,
It
It's
says
simple.
take
Is
in,
input
yeah,
from a user.
still
yeah.
aiming for
Into
We need an
testing.
input.
Right?
yeah, yeah. Uh, uh, could you say Haris?
So it says input from a user. So we need to first take an input and store it somewhere in a variable.
Yeah, you store some in a variable. Okay, good, correct.
Right.
So input, enter a number. Okay, this much is done. So I have taken the input from the user and now I want to print the square of the number. Okay. So if I want to just print the square, what do I do now? Tell me, guys.
So we know, as you have already told, that it's going to be by default a string. So
Yeah,
first we need to convert it into an int because we are looking for a mathematical operation on this input.
correct.
And again, we need to store it in some another variable.
Yes, yes. So I can also do like this. I can make t equal to int of t. That's also
Yeah,
possible, right?
that's also
That's
possible. Yes.
yes, correct. Now I have got this. Now what do I do?
Now, as the last part says, print the square of the number. So we need to print
Yes, print t
t multiply.
Yeah,
star
exponent. Yeah,
exponent.
Yeah, we can do
Let's see.
that.
I have given for 16. Correct.
yeah,
Clear? Clear, Ankit?
yeah,
Done? Now we will. This is the basic thing how we do. Now this is a fancy thing that we have done here just for it to look good. So what we have done, dear user, please enter the number that you want to take the square of. Then we will give some number and it will be stored. The int of that number is stored into in another variable. Now we are again making it into more fancy that we are saying, okay, I'm printing the square of the inputted number. Arey bhai, inputted spelling put square of the number is. So I am doing d into d. First of all, I'll doing d into d, right? D into d is an int, and I want to make it adjusted with this line. I am going to make it with this line. How do I do it? I am going to typecast the value of d into d. Okay. So once I typecast d into d, it becomes quote of d into d. So it becomes 16, string of 16. If we had given 4, it would have become 16 and it becomes string of 16. So once you give string of 16 plus the square of the number is they become stuck. So that's what's happening here. If I'm giving 4, only then it's become 16. But if I don't typecast it here, it won't be able to do it. So if I give 4, it will again give type error that I cannot concatenate a string into an int. Clear, guys?
yeah.
No problem, no issues. Okay. Now this one, take and print the square. Okay, same thing or what? Okay, same thing. Oh, This one was the string and this one was the error that I also tried my own. So same thing for array. Oh, okay, okay. This is another method. We don't need to do this in print statement. Another thing is if I just give comma, it will just concatenate both the things. All right. This also we need to know because this will save us from the hassle of making it in typecasting it every time. So this is a string, this is an int, but this comma can print them because it's just printing. It is not typecasting also. At this point, you might think, okay, internally it is typecasting this D into D. No, it is just printing. That's it. So for typecast for this is also what is good is initially for concatenation we had to use this space between two strings so that they have space, right? But you see this space here we can see double space, right? Because this comma itself gives us an extra space. So
So
here
did it?
we don't even need that.
So when you gave output, sorry, input as 4, it you multiplied d in multiplied d into d, right? So that's how
Uh,
it came as 16, right?
yes, yes.
Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah, it did the operation here. That's what it did. But here, what we had to do just to print it properly with with this in this print statement, we had to typecast it, right? But
Yeah,
this comma is printing both the things together.
makes sense.
So let's we'll also try to do this. Hello, hello, comma. See, okay. So it prints everything in between commas. It just prints everything as it is. So it's not typecasting both anything to make them concatenate. It's just printing, simple printing. Okay, done, guys.
Yeah,
Understood? Clear? Now, a 7.0 int of 7.0 is 7. Array, kya hua? Okay, int of a, okay, it cannot take int of a because it's float, right? So it cannot make it into float then into int. It will, it needs to be float. So that's why here it will become float. Now that float value, if you want to make int, that's a different scenario. So if I am saving this float value into b and I want to make uh, int of I want to make int of copy. See, it became 7. Got it?
yeah.
Clear now? No
Yes.
problem? Okay. So this much I had prepared because after this we will be going into if control statement, the if condition, if conditional question. Actually, I was planning to do today that thing itself, but I felt this was this was very needed because we would have otherwise skipped these things and some things might not have been completed properly. That's
So
why I did. Yeah.
yeah, I have a question. So will you be covering some practical example from with the perspective of other, I mean, real use cases which DevOps, which is used by DevOps. I mean, other day to day, in day to day examples like.
Actually, yeah, I can take, but the thing is, see, if we have to learn where and how Python scripting is used, that's a different thing.
Mm,
But right now, what we are trying to see is we're trying to look into the DSA part of it, right? The DSA part of the DevOps SRE, right?
okay, okay,
So
okay.
I am just trying to cover the basics of Python, whichever is needed to form the logic building that you just said, right? That how
Okay.
do we make the looping and structure of this thing so that we can use this as a base for understanding DSA. Now, After understanding DSA, how those DSA concepts will be used in interviews or in real time scenarios, that's what we need to learn properly. Because Python scripting is something which will be different case to case by case to case, and which I can prepare, and I can discuss this with Swayam or Sagar, and we can come up with just a few examples. That's not the big issue, but the main the agenda that why we are taking Python is because we will need one language, right? Because it won't make sense just to write the dry runs and just to give you some this pseudocode, right?
Yeah.
Pseudocode giving is not that will not be of any impact, right? Will not be of any use if you're not using implementing the code in a proper language, right? But to write that language, we need to know something about that language also, right? That how that language works. That's why I have taken Python. So we'll not be diving much deeper into where Python is being used, Python scripting, these things will be used. So this will be, we're making just as a base for DSA. That's what.
Okay.
But once things goes, once the thing moves forward, we can definitely add many things. So it's just a starting. I'm just trying to go with the flow. So yeah, you have suggested this. Definitely, we can also bring those thing aspects also. That's not an issue.
Sure.
Sure, guys. Anything else you want to add? You want to ask anything?
No, I think another thing you mentioned that you'll be sharing some GitHub repo so that we
Yeah,
can
yeah, 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 yeah.
practice it.
Yes,
Okay.
yes, 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 yes. I have that with me. Let me just made this one. So this in this one, this is the first one which will be related for this with this one. So this has 10 questions. For what I will recommend you is just try to, yeah, go till this much and try to think of the solution on your own. It's one two line solutions only, nothing like that. But try to do it on your own. Do it on your own so that um, it's not like GPT kind of thing, right? It will give you everything. So build on it, and just try to do it how it works. So that's what.
Okay.
And then you go through. Then you go. I have written the code also. In the code section, the answer is there. And before prior to that, the question is there. Entire question is there.
Okay.
And one thing I am saying here right now, many of the questions you will see this segment, that problem constraints, right? This problem constraints is only for not for our own practice, because in our own practice we won't be having a controlled compiler or control settings, right? We can put any kind of things, right? But in real interviews, where interviews are practically happening, there we will be given proper terminals or compilers where there will be actual test cases, and we need to we need to write our codes just for so that our our code is properly matching with that problem constraint, so that it does not exceed that problem constraints. So it's for that. I am just giving these things. I'm just writing this because it was part of the question from where I'm taking. So just for you to understand that this is how it might come in real interviews. Anyway, Python like this, no one asks, but in DSAs, every DSA question will have problem constraint. Every DSA question, because there is a concept of time complexity. You need to the code must be finished in some kind of time, some kind of space. So for that, the problem constraint is very important. And for that, I have not removed this section. I could have removed it, but just for that, these things build on it. You just don't just think this is some random thing that I have written. So I wanted to just clarify that.
Okay.
Okay, I'll share this. All right, this repository. Okay, I'll be sharing this anyway. Did you say something? Try to open that if it works in your system.
Yeah, I'm able to access.
Okay, okay, okay. And collab, are you able to use collab? Because I think most and every one of us has internet, so collab is the easiest thing to practice this Python things. So just use collab and it will be very, very useful just to use. Otherwise, there are other things you can use. VS Code also, online terminal. Python has its own software also, which you can download and use. But it becomes little bit of messy. But you can always YouTube, you can Google, and you can search how to use those things also, and you can just get used to it. That's not an issue. Whatever you feel like is comfortable, you can just use that. All right. So that's it. Shall we close for today?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, we are
Sure.
15 minutes short, but there will be sessions which will be half an hour lengthier than 1.5 hours time slot. Today was a little bit shorter, but yeah, uh, the next time we will again we'll meet.
Sure.
Sure. Okay, guys.
Thank you.
It
Thank
was a
you.
great.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank you, Ankit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Manzoor. Thank you, Harish.
No
It was a
problem.
great session. You made it very, very engaging, interactive, and I hope it continues. Thanks, yes.
Yeah, sure. Thank you.
Yeah. All right.